भाई साहब, मैं तो हमेशा से कहती थी लड़कियां बाइक वाइक नहीं चलाती।
बहन जी, अब बाइक को तो पता नहीं होता ना कि लड़का चला रहा है उसे कि लड़की। मेरी बेटी चाहेगी तो चलाएगी। अब बाइक तो तूने हथिया ली मुन्नी, अब इसकी केयर की जिम्मेदारी तेरी है।
जो परवाह करते हैं वो कुछ ज्यादा पाते हैं, तो ज्यादा पाइए।
So I've been watching this ad and I've made you watch this ad for car insurance or bike insurance for a reason. And that is because as I was watching this ad, this laptop and its camera was watching me. And what it was doing was mapping my emotional reaction to this commercial. And I have a complex graphic here which has mapped my reactions to it on several different parameters, and that is at different points of the commercial. They did it with Emoscape, an AI powered application that maps a person's emotions. I've been trying to keep tabs on AI and all the developments that it is fostering, and I'm particularly interested in the applications in different industries, especially ones that probably will make big differences to the way industries function. Now, I'm here at Nihilent in Mumbai to find out about Emoscape, a gentleman called KV Sridhar, who you probably know better as Pops and Sandeep. Emoscape, you're going to be able to map how I'm feeling exactly right now if I look into the camera and just keep looking at it till you're
Absolutely, you're going to reveal your true self to me.
you're by true colors.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to give us, in as layperson terms as possible, the kind of AI modeling, etc., that's gone into this. And also, I hear that the Natya Shastra and the Navrasas are something that you'll have integrated into the data sets you're using in order to be able for this app to read this emotionscape.
Yeah. So it's a classic integration of our ancient scriptures, which is Navrasa, from Natya Shastra, which is now recognized by UNESCO as well, and cutting edge AI technologies. I mean,
that you all have developed.
Yes.
That's proprietary.
Yes, and this is fully homegrown. So this is a unique Indian product for the global market, I should say, because it has the Indian context in terms of the treatise that we've used, the frameworks, and the technologies which are again homegrown. So we've not used any third-party libraries or anything here. So it's
And for the guys who really understand how AI works, what are the models that this is based on?
There are no models here. We have created our own models. So it is, we use multiple technologies here, including neural networks, machine learnings, etc. There are several others. And you also use video, you use images, and you pick up the contours of the body, shoulder and above, and then movements, the minutest movements of the body, shoulder and above, and then translate that into emotions. So there is a mix of multiple things that have gone in. And then that has been tested across 7,000 odd people, right from 3-year-old to 75 plus, normal population, clinical population. And we've been guided by leading psychiatrists from India, leading institutions and experienced psychiatrists who we have conducted several tests that they carry out while they learn psychiatry to corroborate this model. And it's been corroborated by the test subject as well as the psychiatrist.
Right. Yeah. So, Pops, elaborate a little bit on this Natya Shastra and what it tells you about facial expressions and emotions, and that's the impact of that on another person, right? On the audience in our case. So how has that been integrated, and how did you all get those in terms of the data that Emoscape will use in order to give us the analysis that it does?
The basic thing is what you see is what you get. What you input is what you are going to get. So a lot of data on which the model is being done is using the entire principles of emotional being and how those emotions are expressed. Because use dances where they use the body movement, and each part of the body needs to communicate something, correct? and they're all interlinked. And if you wait to take the facial expressions of a dancer, and then when they are expressing, it is not just in, the feet are talking, the hands are talking, the shoulder is talking, it's the entire body language which actually expressed in the face. So once you go to the facial expressions and not an emoji type, which only puts a smiley and then a frowny face, actually you're going far more deeper into understanding, how the emotions, because of this brilliance of the model which they have created, you are able to capture little more deeper than what we see with a facial mask.
Right.
The mask is gone because you are getting into the real person inside. So therefore, what is interesting is you are taking that one layer off, which could be little fake of hiding your own
Right.
emotions.
I
Here
get-
you are getting it.
I get that. So, did you shoot dancers and put it into this models for it to start learning? Did you shoot actors? Tell us a little bit about but since it's homegrown, what kind of data has been input so that we get this kind of output?
So a lot of actors
Right.
and dancers, all kinds of body movements have been captured. He'll be able to give you a little more detail about how much we did in the lab to track all those. Correct. I mean, a lot of great actors, big actors, actors from cinema, actors from stage, actors from all kinds of a thing, from dance theater. It is.
Yeah. And then that was the first learning set, as Pop said. And then that was built on. I mean, when we conducted all these tests, I mean, with the help of psychiatrists and other clinicians, so traumatic brain injury patients, chemotherapy patients, depression patients, anxiety patients, autistic
Would
children.
become a tool in diagnosis or in how would it how would let's say medicine use it, and then I'll get Pops to tell us how advertising would use it.
See, healthcare, for instance, there are all specialities. I mean, start from basic health checkups, right? Where you go for your physiological health checkup, but nobody bothers about your emotional health.
Emotional status.
Now, here, Emoscape enables you to take an emotional scan, in which we are live at the Jahangir Hospital in Pune, where people can take the emotional scan whilst they're taking the physiological test. The other is specialities like gynacs, for instance, right? During prenatal and postpartum emotional wellness, which is a neglected area. Now, there again, this is a very simple technology to scan the woman, the mother, and her emotional well-being in across the stages of pregnancy, which give deeper insights to gynecologists to suggest better sort of interventions to help balance the emotions of the mother. Secondly, adolescent and childcare, where adolescents and children, they are not able to articulate what they're feeling, nor it's easy to read what's going on, which is Emoscape is another class. This is a classic case for Emoscape where it can detect emotions accurately and which can guide counselors, parents, teachers, etc. together.
Pops advertising. How would I mean in research, in testing? I'm guessing how would you use this?
This is such a powerful technology. You can use anything to get emotional intelligence of the consumer or people. I hate the word consumer. It's always people. And then you will understand how they're responding to different stimuluses, be it a packaging design or colors which I wanted to check, or the product usage and then the emotional attached to a product design or advertising stimulus. Correct. I put a commercial, I put a story, and then I want people to feel sad at certain point of time. I want them to empathize. If they don't, all my stimulus is gone.
Yeah.
Correct. And usually you go in and shoot something, and then you will never be able to correct it.
But won't it make creative work safer because you're going to be testing it like, I mean, in any case, you test it, but this is,
Better.
yeah.
Better you get a second chance to correct it. For instance, I go and then shoot a full-length film, and people get bored. I get involved in that, and then people get bored. Finally, I'm making it for the audience, no? So I want people to clap, and then they don't clap. I feel terribly disappointed. You get that little second chance to re-edit or do something. You can um, either do a better edit, or you can use the music to enhance the points which you wanted to enhance. So you will get a second chance to correct it. And then most important thing is you want to connect with audiences emotionally. And then if you don't understand the emotions, and then you will never be able to connect. And then always you wanted to connect with them emotionally. But what happens sometimes, you don't get the answers in the same way as the feeling is one thing,
Yeah.
and again communicating is another thing. Lot of current research methodologies do not give very accurate answers to that. This actually helps me to really understand, in our day and age, analog years, we used to go, and then IMRB, and I did so much of travel.
Did you say in analog years?
Of course, we used to sit, and then I used to sit, it was 20 to 30 groups in MIG colonies with the housewives to really create a campaign for ITC. They were getting into foods, a cooking oil. So you are trying to observe, I'm the only male in a group, correct? And then you feel very bad, and then you are sitting there, try to understand the emotions of cooking, and then the importance of oil in cooking. So it becomes very important to really understand the emotions which are attached. And then we were, creating advertising and testing them at the end of that group discussions.
Right.
So it actually used to be quite a lot, because you are in front of a people, and then you are responding to the stimulus, and then they are responding to what you are actually telling them. So we had to go to that length to really do that. Today it is far more easier with this. Correct. I really know how they are feeling. Nobody is influencing them. It's a pure content and emotion which you have put in the content, and then you have got an audience in front of you, a person.
So, Sandeep, this is, I'm guessing you all are now trying to get people to buy Emoscape. So, how does that work? Is there a price to this that is out that you can share? How does this, how does this get adopted?
Well, yes, it is available commercially now.
And what does it, you pay, is it a license? Does it operate like other software programs?
This is typically a per test model, right?
Okay.
And we have a differential pricing because the value it creates for each segment is different. So within healthcare also there'll be multiple segments, and we are also into sports. So again, depending on the type of sports and in the depth in which it goes, you'll have different pricing. Likewise, education, and like Pop said, again within marketing, consumer products, is a multiple range of wide range of.
So it's per test. That's how something like this.
And then
Price.
there are packages which we work around. Yes.
A question on these tests that are conducted by your clients or prospective clients. What happens to the data that they collect? Is that then, does it feed the model and refine the model? Do you have access to it? Because we now have, we are in the era of DPDP. So there are so many regulations that are coming into place when it comes to the use of technology and privacy and data protection. So what is, are there any challenges there? How do you negotiate that space?
So we are a GDPR compliant organization. We follow the highest standards of data privacy. And the architecture of the platform is such that all the data is fragmented. So nobody can actually connect the dots to figure out whose data there is. That's one. That said, we also have a process by which we collect the consent of the test subject before the test is taken. So if a subject tomorrow refuses to give a consent,
then you can't use that data
can't use
further.
that data. And the third is in some cases where, like healthcare scenarios, right? We also have built architecture by which some of the critical data points remain at the client end itself. And if they want to delete that data, they can. That's their choice. It doesn't come to the server for assessment analysis.
I think one last question though. How effective have you found it, Sandeep?
Well, it's more than 95%.
So tested it over how many years? 5 years?
Yeah, close to, well, the tests were about last 3 years, time for build up as well. And we have more than 95% plus accuracy, which has been corroborated by the test subjects as well as the clinicians who have been working with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.